Welcome back, guys, to my channel. Today we have a Walt Disney World recent trip haul slash tips, tricks, recap, thoughts of traveling with the 6.5-month-old. If that's your kind of thing, if you're traveling with a baby soon on any trip, especially to Walt Disney World, or if you just love Disney hauls, be sure to stop and subscribe down below, and let's go ahead and get into the video. So this is mainly going to be a pin haul. If you're new to my channel, then you may not know, but I've been collecting pins, Disney pins specifically, since 2005 when I was 7 years old. I'm an avid pin collector. It is my favorite hobby. So most of these products in the haul are going to be pins or pin related items, as that's kind of just what we do around here. I do have 4 things that are not pin related, so I will show you those first, and we're going to get in the haul first, and then we will get into the thoughts. So the first thing, not really something we purchased for like a haul purposes, but it is something we brought back with us that we are keeping, and that is Crew's first ever boarding pass for his flight. My husband flies a lot. We love to travel, so this was just something we thought we would keep and add to his little like baby book or some little memento spot in our house. The next thing is the Festival of the Arts passport. Epcot does a passport for every festival that they do, and this is the one for Festival of the Arts. This is what it looks like. I don't think I actually ever like flipped through here, but I think I might do that just for fun now. The next thing is we do have 2 of these Festival of the Arts paint by number like mural designs. We did this, and when we did it, we went to the festival on like day 3 of the festival, so it was like very new. You couldn't really tell at all what the paint by number picture was going to look like until we got our bookmark, but I know that these always look like so on the money to the design that they were meant to look like. So I'm so excited to see little videos and stuff of the festival towards the end of the festival and see how this is coming along, because it just always looks so good, and I think this is one of the coolest things that they offer. And the last thing that is non-pin related is this little Pooh plush. I went into this trip having 2 things on my list of things I wanted to bring back with me, this being one, and number 2 we did not successfully get, and that was a rack pin, attraction pin of Dinosaur, as the last day to ride Dinosaur was February 1st, and we were there January 16th through 20th, I believe it was, so we were there towards the very end of Dinosaur being open. However, they did stop making rack open edition attraction pins for Dinosaur and all Dinosaur pins, honestly, when the announcement was made back in like 2023 that it was closing. So anyways, it's been a minute since they stopped making those pins. I was very hopeful. That was a fail. But we did get this little Pooh plush, which I was so excited and hopeful we would find as they sold out online. It is a limited edition, I think 750, or is there 750 or 1750? I can't remember now, but it is a limited edition Pooh plush. I just love the knitness of it, and to me this is like the most perfect like mix between his classic self and his vintage self. So this is of course for Crew. This is like the one piece of merchandise that he did get on this trip, since he of course did not care, could not tell a difference, but I just had to have that for him. All right, now getting into the pin products. So when we got off our flight, the first place we went was Pin HQ by Go Pin Pro. That place is booming right now, and I could have spent forever in there if you had left me alone in there. Like, I would have spent so much money and so much time in there, but we did not have much of either. So I was in and out pretty quick. And the first 2 things I got are 2 more of the mini boards. I'm sure if you are watching Disney vlogs at all, you have seen these before. I got the red one and I got the black one. I now have 6 of these. I have the white, the light pink, the butter yellow, and the periwinkle. I love matching them to my outfit or to the park vibes of which park I'm going to, because I'm so extra in that way. But I did pick up 2 more since I was there, and I did want these colors. The other thing I got was my order pickup, which was the Pinfolio XL Show, I believe it was called. Show XL. This is what it looks like. This is a great pin bag for traders to take to events, etc. I had this thing locked and loaded full of pins at the pin trading event, and it got pretty heavy on my shoulder, I'm not gonna lie to you. But this is what I'm now using to hold all of my traders. They had it in a sage green color wave, they had it in a teal blue color wave, and the like pastel pink, which is the one I of course got. It has 5 pages in it, I believe, and they're front and back, so you get like 10 pages in a sense. And then it also has a 6th page on the front here in the show portion. So this is a really nice pin bag that I will be using for quite a while, and I'm so excited to have it. All right, so now getting into the pins. When we arrived on Friday and got to Mount Laura's, before bed, Laura and I did open a bunch of mystery pin boxes from Box Lunch that I brought with me for us to open. It was so fun. We had such amazing luck at it, and it was just so fun. I love mystery pin boxes, especially when it goes your way. So the first one that we pulled, we did these princess series. I don't even know what they're called other than that. But the first one we got was Belle. The next one was Ariel. We then got Mulan. And lastly, from the set, we pulled Cindy. We then opened some of these 100 Acre Wood, Winnie the Pooh and Friends pins. Again, have no idea what they're called with Box Lunch, but this is a great example too of a good mix between vintage and classic self. Honestly, maybe leaning more towards the simple like vintage look of these, but we got 5 of the 6 from this set, so I was so happy about that. So we've got Pooh, Piglet, Tigger, Roo, and Lumpy. So I'm missing 2 from the Princess set and 1 from the Pooh set. Then Saturday morning we went to the pin trading event where I had really great luck. I feel like I lucked out really well for what I brought to the event, and I'm so happy I ended up going. The first one I have is this Box Lunch Ariel and Eric holding hands pin. I got this Disneyland Paris Miguel pin. It's so pretty. I love him with his guitar and his little mariachi outfit. I got this Hannah Montana vinyl record pin, and the record does come out. It says 2006 because that is when Hannah Montana premiered, and it says the best of both worlds. I got this East High Wildcats High School Musical pin, as well as this Camp Rock pin, as we are in our Disney Channel / DCOM era this year, it seems like. Next, I got this WDI Isabella Flower Girl series pin. It is so stunning in person. I am obsessed with this series. I got one of the VCR tape pins. They are really good size, and I love that they come in this box that looks like a VCR. But I got this one in the Lion King, and it is a hinge pin, and it opens, and it looks like the inside of a VHS tape. Next, I got this Pink Hollow Mode Storybook Sorcerer Mickey pin. It is so pretty. And lastly from the event, and by far my biggest grail from the event, I got this massive Pink Hollow Mode Sorcerer Mickey paint palette pin. I guess that's what you would call it. It is like a bunch of sketches for animation. It's got the little paint palette and Sorcerer Mickey there as a pin on pin. These are so big. They've made a few of these. I think they did Pinocchio. I know they did Lady and the Tramp and 101 Dalmatians. And then this one, I think that might be all they've done, but this is like a 5-inch pin. Like, this is Big Daddy. Later on Saturday after the event, we went to Disney Springs, and I did stop by the pin trading outpost, of course. It is a pin to look like the first visit button, so of course I had to get that because of crew. And then I did open 2 mystery boxes of the newer Animal Kingdom puzzle pin. It's gonna, I think it's like a 12 pin set, and it's gonna make a puzzle. It's like a beautiful Animal Kingdom generic looking set. I don't know how else to really describe it, but I did get 4. I did not get any duplicates. It is going to be kind of hard to tell if I don't have all these pins like on me, and even at that, it could be kind of hard to tell, but I do want to do more of these because I think it's going to be a really pretty set once it's all complete. So the 4 I got is this one, this one, this one, and this one. I did get 3 of the 4 corners, so there is that. On Sunday of our trip, we did go to Epcot. That was our Festival of the Arts Epcot day. So, of course, I got one of the Festival of the Arts pins. I think they had like 5 pin designs this year, but they were all very similar. So, I did just get one because I felt like that was good enough for this trip. But this is the one I got. Of course, as Figment, since he's the mascot of this festival. And I think he's like pin on the Epcot ball. Yes, so he is pin on pin. He's on the Epcot ball. It's got like paint splattering, and then it does have different forms of arts things going on. We have him painting, and we have the paint splattering. We've got music notes, and we've got the like theater art drama masks. And I'm trying to see if I can tell anything else. I think that's kind of it as far as the design. So anyways, yeah, got this Festival of the Arts pin. And that wraps up the haul portion of this video. I know that this was basically just a pin haul, but those are my favorite videos to watch personally, so I hope you enjoyed that. Moving on to thoughts from the trip. So like I said, we took crew with us. This was our first time ever going with him, and our first time being back since having him, as he was 6.5 months when we went on our trip. And I cannot say he could have really been any better on this trip. He was just fantastic as far as a 6.5-month-old goes. He is a very good, relaxed, go with the flow baby in general. He sleeps well, he eats well, he's very easily entertained, he rides really well in a stroller and a car. He just did really well. Some of the things that we did that I would highly recommend doing if you were taking a little one to Disney or on a trip in general, but some of these may be very specific to Disney. The first thing is we had a Walmart delivery order delivered to Matt and Laura's house a couple days before we got there of formula, distilled water, and Ziploc bags, just so that I had all of those things that we were going to need or potentially would need on the trip, and I had them all there and we didn't have to travel with them. Obviously, we could have traveled with the formula, but it would have added weight. We would not have been able to travel with the distilled water. So that was just a bonus to already have it there. We didn't have to make a stop at a grocery store. And yeah, that was something that I would highly recommend. Another thing that comes to mind is we got air tags and we put one in our stroller and one in our diaper bag that we had for the trip so that just in case anything happened to them in the Disney parks, we were able to track down exactly where our things were. I would definitely recommend that as well. Even though we didn't need it, it's just a nice little peace of mind. The next thing we did, which is probably one of our biggest pro tips that we did, is we bought plastic bottles for our trip slash like to have for any travel, future upcoming travel. We use glass bottles in our regular life, and I highly recommend that because I feel like they clean well. There's never like residue or staining or smells or anything left behind. And for as many times as those bottles are heavily like heated, be sanitized at night and stuff, I just personally have better peace of mind using a glass bottle. However, they are heavier, and obviously if you drop one in the parks, which is a high possibility, it's going to break and it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a problem. So we did purchase a set of bottles that were plastic for our trip. We got like the same bottles pretty much with the same nipple shape that he's used to for the trip, but we got it in plastic, and oh my goodness, that's probably the best thing we did for this trip. They are so much lighter, and like I said, if one dropped, it wasn't going to break. Also, if something happened to one, it wasn't going to be upsetting because these were specifically for travel. So if you are someone who uses glass bottles for your baby, I would get plastic ones. However, this was my biggest parenting fail for this trip at the same time because I didn't pay attention when I ordered these bottles that the nipple that came with them, even though it was the even flow, wide neck, balance, all of those things that we have, I did not pay attention to the fact that the ones I got were the slow flow newborn nipples. And I'm even going to put in a little clip here of me reading it when I was in my little packing video. Yes, it does. It comes with 6 bottles, slow flow nipples, cap rings, and hoods. Yeah, so as you can tell, I did read it. I did technically see it. I wasn't even thinking it when I read it for the video. I just was like reading the description, didn't even cross my mind. So that was our one problem that we had on our trip, was Crew was never finishing his bottle. It was taking him so long to eat like 4 ounces of his 6-ounce bottles. He was never finishing them. He was always leaving like 1 to 2 ounces left, and we never could figure out why on our trip. And like I said, it was taking us forever to feed him these bottles, and he was always like fussy when he was eating them, and we just could never tell why. And so we thought it was because they weren't warmed, because we were making them on demand. So they were like room temp. So we really thought it was because they were room temp and they weren't warm. And so when we left the trip, when we were headed home that day, I looked at Luke and I was like, I think we might have to buy a portable milk warmer and warm these bottles so he eats them better on our next trip. And then on our flight home, I got to thinking, I wonder if these were slow flow nipples. And I look up my order and I read the description, and sure enough, it is. And so I was like so aggravated at myself because I just felt so bad for him. Obviously he's fine. He never had like less wet or dirty diapers, thank goodness. Like it wasn't like it was dehydrating. He was still getting nourishment and stuff, but that was our issue. So for our next trip, we're gonna bring our nipples we use at home, and they work with these bottles and stuff, and then he will have his normal medium flow nipple, and we should be good going. Next travel tip for Disney or in general is the stroller we got. I would highly 10 out of 10 recommend the stroller that we got. It can be found in the description on my Amazon storefront if you're looking for the exact one that we got. It was like almost $200 on Amazon, and let me tell you, this thing was pretty close to our Mockingbird stroller. There were a few little things that I like could tell were cheaper made, but as a whole, this thing was very close to especially be like 1/3 of the cost. But this was an amazing, amazing travel stroller. This was the best thing we could have gotten for our trip. So let me tell you, it is so sleek and skinny. It fits through like everything. Number one. Number two, it turns super well. It's all-terrain wheels. We never had an issue pushing it in the parks. It rode so well. It pushed so well. It turned on the dime in the stores. Loved that. Number three, biggest part about it for travel. The whole stroller, all the pieces collapse down where it can go in an overhead bin on an airplane. So you don't have to check it at the gate. You don't have to check it, with your stuff. You don't have to wait to get it back at baggage claim. Literally, we collapsed the stroller right before we walked onto the plane. We even would like push crew on the ramp to the plane. And then Luke would collapse it as we were about to walk on. He'd put it in the overhead bin. He'd get it out. We'd walk off. We'd get off the plane and we would put him right back in the stroller. And then we were able to push him the whole way through the airport both ways. It was so handy for that purpose. And my last thing about this stroller that was super nice, especially with Disney, is the back collapses down. It has the like extendable back. So therefore it made it lay flat. Or like pretty flat. So crew would go flat. I would use a muslin swaddle and put it as a cover over the whole opening of the stroller so that he couldn't really like see out, and it made it like a darker little canopied napping area. And he took wonderful naps in there while we were on the move in the parks. And then when he would wake back up, we would sit him up, we would push the drawstring thing in, and we would have a normal sitting stroller again. So that was fantastic. Highly recommend the stroller we got. The next thing we got that I would highly recommend is a blackout canopy tent to go over the crib / pack and play. I got a dupe one on Amazon. It's also linked in my storefront, so you can find it there. I can't ever think of the name of the one that is like the popular original one. It's $200. This one was $55, so I definitely bought it and was kind of like, if it doesn't work, I won't feel so bad about spending this money. I do think it was helpful, so I would recommend. We're going to travel with it again, and if we start to notice that it's not really doing anything for us, then we'll leave it at home. But I personally thought it was helpful, and especially if you have a baby that has to have a blackout sleeping area, this would be very beneficial for you, especially too if you're going to come back to your room for a midday nap when the room is going to be very bright in comparison to nighttime. Then you would really want one of these. The last thing I can think of kind of goes back with the bottles, but we got the Ubi on the go bottle cleaning set, and this was a wonderful tool to have. We will be taking it with us on all trips as long as he uses a bottle. This is like a tiny, sleek little portable case that has a bottle brush in it, as well as this little buildable bottle tree that you build, and it has all these little lids that come out, and you can dry up to 8 bottles on it. And then you can also hang accessories like bottle nipples, bottle collars, bottle lids, etc. So when you wash them out, they're wet, hang them upside down on there, and they dry so nice. And I feel like this is a better way than putting them on a paper towel. I feel like it really dries them well having them upside down, and it did not take up much room at all. So that was super nice as we went to Mount Lars, and I really didn't want to fill their countertops with bottle stuff. Highly recommend this, and it was I think like $8 at Target. So highly recommend that as well, and it is, yes, linked on the storefront. And I believe that is going to be it for this video. Those were kind of all the things that we like bought and thoughts on them for the trip. I don't think we really bought anything that we regretted. The only thing, like I said, was the nipple issue, and that is 100% on me because I didn't check for that. So hopefully on our next trip that's coming up, we will have solved that issue and he'll have normal eating and stuff like that. But that is going to conclude it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I would love to have you here as we do a lot of Disney stuff. I do mom content, Disney content, pin content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!